But I think he stopped. I mean, whether we're seeing any yellow flags come out or not, but because he did stop actually on the turn mark as well, by the looks of it, Jason.
That's going to be more
Fingers crossed
socially distanced dining tables.
Well, I mean,
So
I've
let's
never
talk
done a
about.
commentary. Go on.
Yeah, no, sorry. I was then going to just run on about Uvers just quickly, just about the modified mole guard, because obviously with the limited cockpit space that Uvers is a tall young man, but of course they had to modify that boat to accommodate Uvers's height. So do you think that's really affected the performance of the boat? Because I always feel that Uvers probably hasn't done quite as well since that was changed.
No, surely when he actually raced up at when he was racing in England when we had the F2 European Championships here, which he won that weekend. Yes, there's some boats modifications have taken place. That looks like Nikita's stopped there for a little while. Maybe they were maybe I think what they're doing is that they've reached this particular point in qualifying, and they're just now waiting for gaps to appear on the racecourse.
Yeah, we're now some 11 and a quarter minutes in, so nearly 12 minutes into the qualifying session. Out of 35, with
Yeah,
Owen Jelf there, Chris.
Yeah, I know. It's good to see Owen. I think Owen's is probably going around just putting in a couple of sighting laps just to make sure that fuel is actually getting to the engine. But I think all of this is going to do is obviously the only one in the top three that's actually going out there and still going around the course is Nikita. I think everyone else is scrabbling for positions in the midfield. Looks like Ryabko's happy with his fifth place time at the moment because we can't see him on the water at the moment. Hopefully they'll resolve the problems with Bimber and she'll be back on the water soon as well.
Chris, can you remember last year this very Grand Prix and Edgaris's disastrous event where he even failed to qualify?
Yeah, they had gremlins with the fuel tank all weekend. In the end, I think it meant that the boat it was almost sent back to DAC to have the fuel tank system completely replaced.
And the pressure as an organizer, because he is a big part of this event, he helps organize that. He's got the sponsors for the event and everything that goes with hosting an event. With that pressure on your back and then to actually compete in the race, I mean, that's an awful lot of pressure. And then to put even more pressure on yourself to try and race a boat, there's got to be 101 things going on in that driver's mind at the moment.
I think
Jason,
102, because obviously the COVID situation hasn't exactly helped.
Oh no,
Chris.
it's been horrendous.
Yes, John. What news?
Yes, you were just talking about the COVID situation. All of the competitors have had to, and all of us have had to jump through hoops. We've had to be tested before we come. Lots and lots of forms to fill out. The idea is that we isolate in the hotel in town and then come down in a van. And then just to be in the pit area. So technically, we're only allowed to be in the hotel or here in the pits, which has really added to Ryabko's issue. However, he's managed to work with the government and to get this on.
Yeah, superb job. I mean, in a way, it's almost like an overseas event because normally when we have an overseas or flyaway event, there is only one hotel where all the drivers stay in. And so as you wander in there for breakfast in the morning, you can almost like go around each table and find out how the drivers are doing and what they've been up to since they last race. And it's almost like a little community. Whereas some of the other races that we go to, they're all split between various hotels that they've all booked for themselves. So I would have thought the atmosphere in the Ibis is probably going to be has been quite good over the last couple of nights, John.
Yes, you talk about breakfast. Matthew Portman and I walked into breakfast this morning. The only problem was we'd just come back from the club.
Well, yes, yes. Well, moving swiftly along. I'm surprised they let you in at your age, John.
incredibly sore subject.
Oh, I bet. Yes, with the Palfreman looking half your age.
Matthew, this
Right, come on.
weekend, is working with Owen Jelf Racing.
Entertainment manager, I heard.
Well, that was his initial role, but he's been really busy today helping the team with the boats, and he didn't look happy to have his hands covered in grease.
Oh, well, there's always a first time for everything.
Was that still from the night before?
Oh! I didn't want to go there, Jason, but obviously you did.
So anyway, meanwhile, Benavente is still fastest, with Celio's second fastest, Riabko third fastest. That's the top three. You can see for yourselves on the screen how it's all kind of panning out in this 35-minute session, which we're calling Q1 and Q2. Q3, of course, as we've mentioned, it's a 10-boat shootout. And that's going to be, Chris, a totally different way of driving. It's going to be a two-lap kind of give it all or nothing event.
Yeah, a shootout is always entertaining. I mean, these guys know very well what's expected of them. Some people say it can be a bit of a lottery because, depending upon how quickly they can get everything turned around, as to whether the actual water conditions changed or the wind conditions. There's been some times in the past where the wind has been absolutely blowing a hoolie at the start of the shootout and it's reflected in the times. And then by the time that the final driver goes out, the wind has died down and it's a completely different course to run against. But, I suppose that's just the lottery.
Well, talking of lotteries, Salio's just won his one because he now goes fastest of all with a 48.232 second lap. Still not under that 48-second barrier, but nevertheless, he just says to Benavente, there you go, I'm just as quick as you, my friend. And
Yeah,
Celio... Yeah, I was going to just say this will, of course, mean that I guess eventually, when we get to the 10-boat shootout, if things stay as they are at the moment, the fastest driver, which in this case is Celio, will be the final boat out on the water for the shootout.
the advantage that you have of going out last, of course, is the fact that you know exactly what time to beat to put you on pole. So you know how fast to push.
Yeah, which is always handy. If you've got a little bit more left in the bag, you don't necessarily have to go out and bend to this extreme. So yeah, I think you're right, and you haven't got that. If you're the first boat out, of course, you've got 9 other boats out after you, and you're waiting nervously on the bank, thinking, "Are they going to beat my time? Are they going to beat my time?" And of course, you're there 10th for a reason, so probably the answer's always going to be yes.
Really good to see Owen looking like he's putting that boat to good use. That Babahal was flying a minute ago.
Yeah, I mean, Owen had some excellent. I'm just looking back at Abu Dhabi last year, which was the last race. Seems unbelievable, actually. That was 9 months ago since these drivers last competed against each other. But he was mighty quick, and I remember the shootout where, again, we're saying the excitement of the shootout. And there was one point I thought that Owen had done it. I thought he was going to be the pole position man. It didn't quite pan out. But the race, I can't remember actually what happened in the race now, but I know it was it the drive shaft? I can't remember. But nevertheless, Owen's bad luck continued and failed to score the points that he wanted.
And there's his brother in action. He's obviously looking very at home in that Mulgard.
And that is Owen stopped out on the track.
So Colin's fastest time at the moment, John, is 49.568. I always like to know how many laps drivers do in qualifying. Colin, well, he posted his fastest time on the 15th lap. He's done 19 laps in all. So Colin Jelf then, as we say, he is 5th fastest out of 10 of them. As we now look at Colin Jelf once again back in action. But does he improve as we now flick back to Owen Jelf? Now let's see. Now Owen, down the list, of course, he's 8th fastest at the moment, and his fastest time, well, he's still off the boil, 55.824 for Owen Jelf.
I mean, looking at it, you can see that Colin is actually using this more as a testing session. He's been out now for the best part of 20 laps, and Benavente has only literally done 5 laps. So you can see that Colin Jelf is making good use of the time. Just by being out there. Obviously, yes, he was the first one out there. He came pretty close to bettering in his time a minute ago, where he just put in a 49.80. His current best lap at the moment is a 45.5, so 49.56. Whereas Owen is definitely improving. He's still just a fraction off the pace. We're on a 55.84, so he's still got a long way to go. Hopefully, at some point, Bimber will be actually coming out.
Yeah, let's hope so, because she could really mix things up here at the opening round of the UAM Formula 2 World Championship Series. As we look at Benavente, oh my goodness, it does look quick. It looks aggressive, doesn't it? Looking back from the Moorhull, looking at that Optimax engine, as what a great shot then. Benavente into the turn. At the moment, I'm not sure what turn that is, but you can see the pit area as we kind of lose a shot a little bit as we go back to Owen Jelf. But Benavente really is going to be one of the big key players this weekend. Ryabko, it needs to work out for him. It needs to be what a great start to the season for Ryabko, winning a home Grand Prix, and especially as we said after last year, Ryabko with a little bit of a point to prove, I think, for this weekend.
Benavente's last lap was 48.78, so they're all around about the 48-second mark. And in fact, Colin has literally just moved up to 4th place because he's just posted his best lap of the day at 48.92.
Yeah, and Colin is only ever going to get faster and faster. And you know what? I would imagine, and I put my money on it almost, that we're going to see him in the top 3, possibly, by the end of this session.
That's quite a call you've made there. I mean, I would think that if you offered him 4th place, that he would have accepted that. He would have probably bitten your hand off. Actually, I would have thought.
But we'll see what happens, because I mean, we're now 23 minutes into the 35-minute session, so still a lot could happen. And this is, of course, for the grid positions for the shootout. And at the moment, the 10th boat, if she makes it, will be Dimba Shoham. Once again on board with Benavente. Now, Benavente now goes fastest, Chris. So
Yep.
Benavente 48.152, and what Benavente says, right, Celio, had a bit of a race with you along the way to the race venue. So let's make a big scrap of things on the race course. And 48.152. I'm expecting the shootout laps to be around about 46-ish seconds.
I think that's probably a good call. I would have thought that. One of the things at the moment is that with such a reduced field, it is actually making life a lot easier for going out and finding that clear lap.
So just some hot news from the pits then. So I just had a text then. So Bimber is not going out in this session. She's just going out for the shootout. So.
Oh, the dark horse, Bimber.
So yeah. So what about that? So she feels. I don't know if she feels that she doesn't need to go out for the 35-minute qualifying, or if she has got a genuine issue and she's just going to make it into the shootout. Not sure, but either way, doesn't matter, because that is the fact that Bimber is only doing the shootout. So she will start then, I'm saying, unofficially, but I'm guessing that's the case, in 10th position. So she'll be the first boat out. And Chris, do you think that will bother her?
It depends. I mean, it depends really on how much the water conditions have changed when she went out this morning. Because she would have set the boat up. She would have a good idea of what prop she needs to run with. I would have thought Scott sat down with her and they probably discussed how they're going to approach this, and also what sort of fuel level that they put in. Because I would have thought that she would have probably had a tank quite full this morning to go out and do the free practice. But obviously, that's the last thing that you need if you're going to go out and put two fastest laps in.
Yeah, I mean, there was a one point earlier on this morning where in free practice she was slaying second for actually quite some time. Then Celio come along, popped in a second position, and then Bimber said, no, I want that back again. But in the end, it was all irrelevant because Ryabko came along and said, right, I'm going to be second fastest in free practice, so just take that. But Bimber was obviously third fastest overall in the end.
Ryabko is desperately trying to get somewhere near that 48-second mark. He's just posted a 49.66. So, yeah, be interested to see whether he can actually make any inroads into Celio's time at the moment.
Yeah, Ryabko then actually doing 18 laps, posted his fastest time on his 14th lap. Let's see, we got Ufus Slacturus now. Ufus, in his day, a competitive driver, 24 laps. He's got a history of doing many laps, whether it's free practice or qualifying. And you'll remember this, Chris, where there was once upon a time we limited the laps of qualifying. I think it was something like 16 or 17 laps.
Yeah, it was 15 laps, 15 times past timing control. Yeah, because I mean, when you get to this sort of level, okay, it's possibly slightly different this year. But what you were trying to do is that you really should arrive at the race venue with your boat reasonably well set up. That you need to just have a couple of tweaks and don't use both the free practice and the qualifying as to get seat time. I appreciate Colin's new to Formula 2 this year in the last few years, so he's desperately trying to get seat time in the Mulgard. But we also know that he's been out up at Stewartby, putting in some testing laps before he made the journey to Lithuania.
Well, I'm just getting lots of texts now about Bimber, and yes, it is tactical. Is the comment I'm getting from her radio man. So it's quite an interesting process. And
well, I suppose it puts less stress on the engine, and in a way, that's probably not a bad idea. You know, she's guaranteed that she's going to start tomorrow because there are only 10 entries.
yeah, and in Scott's words, she just needs to go out there and nail the lap. So I guess it's going to be an exciting lap to watch. Just see if her tactics pay off.
I was going to say it's a very interesting tactic. John, what news do you bring?
Jason, I've just run down. Oh, Chris, I've just run down to the pits. I've seen Bimber. And Jason was absolutely right. She decided not to go out on Q1 or Q2, and she's just going to do the shootout.
Maybe things will be a little bit different. Go on, Jason.
No, I was just going to say that officially confirms it then.
Yeah, but you're on the hotline. I mean, you know, you guys from that part of England, you don't need a telephone to communicate with each other. You know what each other's thinking about.
Oh, we do. We're all inbred, you know that.
Oh, couldn't possibly comment.
Does Jason come from Sweden?
No, but his ancestors do. They were Vikings, weren't they?
Something to do with boats anyway, I think. Right, let's see how we're getting on then, Chris. It's 29 seconds, minutes even. Minutes, whatever time frame you want to use. 30 minutes now into this session, 5 minutes left. Are we going to see something spectacular from this man, Owen Jelf? who is still down there in what, 7th position? No, 8th position, isn't he,
Eighth
at the
position,
moment?
yeah.
8th position. So, but then again, you know, he doesn't need to do it now, does he? He can do it in the next bit.
Yeah, I mean, he could be adopting the same sort of tactic that Bimba's thought about. I think probably what he's doing is that he's using the time just to make sure that the balance of the boat is correct. As we see his brother there now coming back into the dock, I would have thought that Collins can be quite happy with setting fourth fastest time.
Yeah, he's got to be, really, hasn't he? I mean, you know, to come, I'd never say unprepared because Colin's always prepared, but to come to the race venue in a boat that's a little bit alien to him, as we now watch Edgar Rosriabko lifts up the canopy. I'm wondering if that's enough for him, because is he thinking, right, that's it, I'm going to start third in the shootout. No point
And
in
they've still got
breaking the
another session
equipment.
to go, haven't they? Because this session is limited to 35 minutes. So with the last 4 minutes to go, I would have thought they were coming back in just to make sure, have a bit of a rub down, get some fluid on board. Because, even though it's not mega hot out there, you're sitting in your race overalls, you've got your helmet on. Some of these guys do take some liquid with them when they're racing, but then you find that a lot of the time the actual liquid that they're drinking starts to get a little bit warm out of the bottle that's stored in the boat somewhere, and it's probably not that pleasant to drink after a while. It's almost like warm orange juice, not pretty pleasant. So I would have thought that even though it's not the baking hot situation that we had the last race in Abu Dhabi, these guys are still going to come in, and I felt like they've done a workout in the gym.
Okay for me to talk to you? This is the live stream. You ready to talk? No, no.
I think John's just trying to grab an interview there, but at the moment,
I'm trying something quite revolutionary on the chatting mode, but it's trying an interview, so we'll try that a little later.
just watching Uvras Slacterus. So Uvras then just ahead of Owen. So Uvras Slacterus 7th fastest at the moment. He's done 26 laps, posted his fastest time on the 12th lap. But the man who's done the most laps and getting the seat time, Chris, you were right, Colin is just getting seat time at the moment. He's the driver who's done the most laps in this qualifying session.
Yeah, 28 laps. It's and he's put it to good use. I mean, he set his fastest lap 6 laps ago, so obviously he's got quicker and quicker and quicker as he styled that boat in. You can't tell me that a guy who's with that so much experience that he's got, he could quickly get that boat set up. And Sammy takes a bit of another flyer there. Colin is always going to be quick in a boat, whatever you put him in.
Yeah, and of course, Colin was there along with Owen. They were there right at the start of F2, even back in the day when it was called, and you'll remember this, the S2000 class, NS2000 Formula 2 Grand Prix boats,
That's
whatever you
going
wanted
out
to call them
live.
back
So if I
back
speak
then.
to you, you go on the live stream. Do you want to chat?
Not right now.
And John's now trying to round up another victim to come and talk to the likes of you and me, Jason, by the sounds of it.
Yep, and he sounded British. Just I don't know if that was Colin's voice.
Going
But
back
yeah.
to Colin, I mean, he actually started racing. I mean, he was the F2 European champion back in 2005. And then a year later, he did become the actual Formula 2 world champion. So, yeah, I mean, back in the day, he was actually racing up against some serious competition. 2006, Colin, he only actually did 2 races. There were only 3 rounds of the world championship. Okay, you could say that each race only had about 11 drivers. So really, at the end of the day, he's probably quite used to the size of this field.
Yeah, I think Colin is actually the only world champion in Formula 2 in this event here this weekend. No one else has actually been a world champion in Formula 2. So, that he must have brought with him a little bit of fear to the rest of the competitors. They must have thought, oh, Colin's turned up, Colin's rocked up. Probably a little bit like Lewis Hamilton rocking up to a motorsport event, thinking, oh, there's no chance now because Lewis is here.
Yeah, I mean, he's when you look at the past history of who's Collins beaten, I mean, in say for example when he won in 2000, I think it was 2008 when it was actually called the Formula Two World Cup. I mean, Collins finished on a massive 60 points. He was 20 ahead of Alex Carella. Now we all know what Alex Carella went on and did, but
Yeah.
you know what? The interesting thing that year, back in 2008, that Colin actually always finished in second place. Two of them were behind Alex Carella, and one, believe it or not, in Riga, was actually behind Owen.
Yeah, and I know it went to Malaysia, didn't it, in 2008 for the final showdown. Now, I know Owen was in contention for the championship, but I think something disastrous had to happen to Colin for Owen to win. And I'm pretty sure that Alex was in contention as well. But anyway, it went Colin's way in
I
the
think it was
end. And
2000.
Jason,
2000 go on, John.
I've just spoken to Massimo Ruggiero, who is Owen's radio man. He's looking very down in the mouth. They don't seem to be able to get on top of this issue.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's sort of a long way to come. As you said, driving up to from northern Italy, and to only record the eighth fastest time. Yeah, I mean he's literally 7 seconds off Benavente, so that's a heck of a lot of making up. But the thing is, as Bimba's gone and said, you know, let's save it for the race.
Guys, I'm with Edgaras Riabko. Edgaras, how was qualifying?
Ah, not not very happy. Now I think I'm in third position, so I will start at 7 now. So the wind is a little bit tricky, and not happy with the right hander. So I need to work with myself.
Thanks for speaking
Okay,
this in the
okay.
middle of this. Cheers. Oh, there is an exclusive for you.
Has the wind definitely picked up last year? I don't think it was gusting a couple of days. It certainly was gusting in free practice because that was when Kylie Vippo decided to say join the airborne division. But apart from that, has it really been troublesome? I saw a video that young Ben Jelf put up yesterday, and he was commenting on how breezy it was. John, I mean, what's it like
Uh,
there now?
the day before yesterday, it nearly blew Bimba's tent over.
Wow.
And it has steadily dropped. But I think, as Edgaras said, out on the back there, you're still picking it up.
It's quite an open circuit. Right round the corner, where I stood last year to do some photos, it was blowing an absolute hoolie, and I remember quite a few of the drivers got caught out on the very far pin. One of the victory lads. He certainly had a bit of a tumble out there before he was actually the rescue boat got to him and brought him safely back to shore. So yes, it is quite exposed at the bottom of the course there.
Chris, I've got Massimo Ruggiero, Owen Jelpso radio man with me. Massimo, lots and lots of issues.
Yes, unfortunately we are here with small problems. We felt too easy to fix it, but now is one day that we are really in big trouble and still have a problem. So I think that for tomorrow we will change the engine.
Changing engine. Well, thanks for speaking to us.
Wish him happy birthday from us.
And the guy said happy birthday. Big Italian smile there.
He's not getting any younger, that's for sure. Salamano just recently turned 56. Yeah, that's a nice shot there. So the match race will be in an hour's time. Okay. That's going to be quite interesting. So does that mean then that Owen's not going to be coming out for the match race?
If he's talking about changing an engine, it's looking quite terminal. However, Owen is still on the pontoon lined up for the shootout. 9 boats on the pontoon, with the Monaco boat missing.
So is Bimber on the water now?
Bimber's in, and the lineup is 11, 17, 71, 3, 41. Dark Benevente's next to Owen Jelf down the bottom.
So is this Q2 or is this? Are we going to go straight into the shootout?
Well, from the rules that we read, Chris, we thought there was 35 minutes of running and then the shootout.
35 minutes of running and then the shootout.
That's the rules we read.
Okay, so we're going straight into the shootout now.
So we'll have just double check that.
So Jason, while we're waiting to see what happens, who's your money on?
Put my money in the table.
Okay,
Well,
that's the bottom.
You know,
I put my
it's a
money.
hard one. I mean, there's a lot of background noise there. I apologise about that. So, who's my money on? Benevente, I think. I'd be stupid not to say him, I think. So, yeah, Benevente. I'm going to stick with that one.
You're sticking with Benevente. Okay,
I mean, so, yeah. I know it's a safe choice.
Yeah. I've got a sneaky suspicion that Stelio's either going to be on pole or he's going to blow it over.
Now we've seen this happen, of course, we see it happen in Formula One, didn't we? Where we've seen boats go over backwards in shootouts. Hopefully, it won't happen today. We don't want to lose any boats. We've only got 10 of them. But looking at those flags, the wind, you can now see. To me, it does look a little bit more windy now. I just missed a little bit of what Agaros was saying, but I did catch the tail end about how you were saying it was a little bit windy at the far end of the racecourse. So that is where they need to watch out. But yeah, they need to be careful on this shootout.
Well, you see, the thing
And
is you can see. Oh, it is the shootout. Okay, because you can see behind where that pleasure boat is moored there's like the bank which the railway line is sat on. Now that is literally is a bowl. You can see there's a couple of spectators sitting on the bank there. That is a huge concrete bowl around there. And also I know because Tobias Muthkas last year when he went out for his shootout, he almost blew over when he took the turn there, going around there because the wind just really whips around that corner there. So with the problems with a course like this is that yes, it is very open, and yes, the wind can catch you out in almost any part of the circuit.
Chris, just to give you a weather update, yes, there is still wind, but now that it is getting much, much hotter. And in fact, our pit marshal, Jason Brewer, who's standing there next to the boats, he looks like a British holidaymaker in Saint-Tropez.
Saint-Tropez, I thought it was more like Benidorm. Is he actually wearing his shorts, or has that been banned?
He's got a fine pair of shorts on, socks and sandals.
Of course,
But no handkerchief or deck chair then this year.
No, he's got a special mask on as well, which is some amazing mask technology, really.
I would have thought it was because they're talking about Portugal with us being there, that everywhere we go we have to wear a mask, even when we're outside. Have we sort of seen any? Has anybody been really adapt and a sponsorship on their masks?
One or two teams have. I'm actually sporting Sean Toronte Racing mask this weekend, and that leads us in nicely to say that Sean will be joining us for the main race tomorrow, the double UAM F1H2O World Champion. He'll be commentating with us on the race, which is exciting.
If we can get a word in there for Edgewood.
Well, we look forward to that. And I wonder if Sean is watching this with interest now, wishing that was him sitting behind the wheel of a race boat, because this is where
No, I
the
think
drivers
Jason
now
actually
really get to feel.
he's sitting behind the wheel of a Emirates airline, to the best of my knowledge, because having been testing in Italy with the team, he's now heading back to his home, and hopefully he'll be back in time. I'm just hoping that his body clock stays on Italian time, because otherwise it's going to be a very early call tomorrow morning in America.
Yeah, he's got to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning in Florida. The race for him starts at 7. And as you rightly say, he was testing the brand new DAC in Italy yesterday. Super pleased with that performance, quicker than his World Championship winning boat. And I think he's probably going to have more to say about that tomorrow. And
Yeah,
where
I'm
his
sure.
old DAC boat's going as well, Chris. That's got a new owner away from Abu Dhabi, and I'm sure Sean will be delighted to tell us about that.
Yeah, the other thing that I'd be interested to hear about is what they've done, what sort of adaptations they've done to the driver's cockpit, because he was saying that they've done some work on that area.
Yeah, I was showing it to Massimo Ruggiero yesterday, and he was looking at it very interestedly. Ruggiero, obviously the Baba builder.
Okay, so we're about to start.
Yeah, official confirmation then from our start marshal, our jetty marshal, Jason Brewer, who is not only keeping the drivers in order, he's also keeping us in order in various parts of the world. But we look forward to this. Chris, I need to ask you really, so I've said Benevente, your money, you said Celio. John, for the shootout, are you going to be the charmer and go for Bimber on this?
Well, before the event, I had Bimber as number 3, Sammy Celio as number 1, and Duarte Benevente as number 2. So I'm going to have to stick with that: Celio, Benevente, and Bimber. And the whistle's blown.
But never underestimate a Jelf. And, well, we know that it may not be, unfortunately, Owen, but it could be Colin. But we'll wait and see. And,
Bimber's on our way.
Chris, away we go then. Well, we can, out of picture, we can hear Bimber going around, but we can't see her going around at the moment. So let's see
Well, that
what
engine
happens.
sounds like it's running up nicely.
I'll run
It
back to the
sounds good,
studio
that.
and see. I'll run back to the studio and try and sort these pictures out.
Thanks, John. Timing would be good as well.
So we've just looking at timing at the moment. So yeah, we haven't got a time on her at the moment, but we can hear the engine going off into the distance. So this is going to be coming up for the end of lap 1 any minute now. The good news is that she's still on the water because we're still on a green flag. And so we now listen for Bimber to come back down the course. But it would be fantastic if it does work out for her. The time she posted in free practice of 48.352, which she done on her 10th lap. And now, do we get a time flash up on our screens? We do, Chris, 48.127. So 48.127, faster than what she was in free practice. But is it going to be fast enough for top 3 or even a pole position for tomorrow's Grand Prix?
I don't think so. I think it'd be interesting to see with that sort of time she could be in the top 3. But as to whether she's going to be faster than both Celio and Benevente, I don't think so. I think even Duarte could push that more hull of his a little bit quicker.
Well, here we go. Here's her second lap then, her second attempt. Sorry that we apologise we can't see the pictures at the moment, but we'll keep it. And she goes faster. Quick look at that. 47.233 for Bimber. So an awesome lap there. And it's faster than what Benevente was. In fact, she's posted the fastest time of the weekend.
Yeah. 47.23. Now that's pretty impressive.
And how do you feel about that? Because do you think Celio can beat that time? Do you think Benevente, you said he may have been, I'm going to use the word sandbagging, but, you know, do you think he's got that much left in the boat?
Well, I mean, when you think that Rashid set a 45-second lap time last year, 2 seconds faster. Okay, Rashid had the might of the Team Abu Dhabi behind him. But even the likes of Nikita, he was setting he set a 46 in qualifying last year.
Okay, guys, we've got pictures resumed now. Apologies for that at home.
Here we go. Check them out.
Arena HD went for a tea break.
So we're looking then at Sachi then. So Giacomo's Sachi from Monaco, the man from Monaco, in the Baba boat. Now let's see what he can do, because in free practice, actually, I'm just looking at free practice, he was down there in 9th position with a 49.887 lap time. So we'll just wait and see what he can do. He's got 2 laps to try and beat Bimba's time of 47.233. But really, he needs to beat his own personal best at the moment, which is just under 50 seconds. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough one for him. I think that he can go faster than 49.887, but I still think he's probably going to be down in 8th or 9th position.
Yeah, I think you're probably about right there. Well, there he's got that boat really nicely balanced. It depends.
And of
Once
course,
again, it's going to go on, Jason.
no, sorry, carry on, Chris.
I was going to say, I mean, once again, we're at the, it's going to be down to the. Oh, hello, he's stopped.
No.
Okay. Oh, he's going again. Okay, so yeah, it's going to be down to the weather gods, really, as by the time that the likes of Benavente and Celio are coming out. No, he's decided to call it a miss. So I think he looks like he will be starting in 10th place tomorrow on the grid, I would have thought.
Yeah, that's
Chris,
a
I'm going to take a
disappointment.
walk back to. Sorry, Jason. I'm going to take a walk back to the pits now and see if we can't have a word with Bimba first, and then to see what that issue was there.
Giacomo's obviously called it a day. He's coming back into the shore. I think the Monegasque resident has decided that maybe 10th place is fine. I mean, to be honest, he's going to be able to stay out of everyone's way at the back of the field tomorrow. So give everyone a pretty wide berth when it comes to the first mark, and work his way through the field that way was probably in his mindset.
I think I'm going to give Giacomo a fairly wide berth before.
Nah, he's a likable guy.
He was obviously very disappointed after the first session.
But on the positive side, it's his first ever shootout that he's made. Right, let's see what Owen can put together. A little bit of porpoising there again. Just doesn't seem to be want to hook up the boat, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's definitely not the same style as when we last see him, is it, Chris? Not when we see him absolutely flying in Abu Dhabi. But yeah,
I mean,
a lot of that boat in the water.
Yeah, there's too much of the boat in the water. He doesn't seem to have the punch coming out of the turns. There he's taking a long time to get it back up onto the speed. You see it there rocking back forward in the water. He won't be happy with this time. I think he probably might even back out of this lap. It looks like he's slowing down. Maybe he is heading back into the shore. So unfortunately, the Gremlins look like they've struck again. And Owen looks like he's heading. Oh, he's fired it up again. So maybe he's sort of. They're definitely not the grunt that he needs just to get round the turns, by the looks of it. Here he goes again for another lap. He's backed out of it again.
Yeah.
It's looking like he's looking like. I mean, the time that he's actually set is is just a fraction faster than the one that Giacomo set. So the chances are it'll be
Second,
Giacomo in 10th, second fastest. Yes,
second
maybe.
fastest, yes,
But I
at the
think
moment.
at the moment, Owen, I think will probably be lining up towards the latter end of the grid tomorrow.
But with a new engine on the
Guys, I've
back,
got
different engine.
guys. Jason,
Yeah, come in, John.
can you? Okay, I've got Bimber with me. Bimber, that looked to be a pretty good lap.
I don't think so. I don't know what it was, but it didn't feel too perfect.
Well,
Sorry.
Chris Davies and Jason Mantrip watching you were quite impressed. Jason?
Yeah, well done, Bimber. It was a 47.233, the fastest lap of the weekend.
47.23.
Yeah, but that could have been a lot better, I feel.
Okay. Well, Bimber's doing all the work again. She's craning her boat out while Scott is sunning himself on the pontoon. So we just managed to grab a few words there.
Well done, John.
So it'd be interesting to see how Bimber thinks she could improve that time, because she was the first one to smash 48 seconds. So maybe I still think that that's going to be a very hard time for any of the other guys to get anywhere near. I might be wrong, but the way that they were staggering through the times earlier, and it was always going to be around about the 48-second mark that the guys were setting. And now Bimber's come along. They've made the perfect call by missing out that 35-minute session and going straight into the shootout.
I'm wondering how much time you lose, how many seconds or fractions of a second you lose having traffic on the water, because obviously we all know that having the perfect lap is having a clear lap, which is what they do the shootout laps for. So what is it costing you, do you think, in traffic? Do you think it's a second's worth?
No, I don't,
Possibly
on
is.
this sort of course with just 10 boats going around or 9 boats going around. I think you are more likely to be able to find a clear lap. Here comes Uvis.
Now, let's see what he can do. Slacterus, again, one of the long-time Formula 2 campaigners. And yeah, he's seen some changes as well. He was there in the old school days as well, wasn't he? Back in the SST 120 days.
Look at that boat. It's literally, you can certainly tell the difference between the way that Uvis is running it and the way that Owens run it. You could see that there's a lot less of the of the rear of the boat, of the rear of that Mulgard in the water. He's picked it up lovely, and it's just gliding across the water. This could be a really quick time for Uvis.
Yep, it looks perfect, doesn't it? Coming down towards us. Look at the way. That's a great shot. Look at that. The boat coming straight down then towards us. Let's see where he shuts off. He throws it into the corner, but not really scrubbing off too much speed. And that was for more of a hairpin turn there.
48.62. No, he hasn't matched Bimber's time. He's still, I mean, I think Bimber was being very modest when she announced that she thought that actually that wasn't a very good time. I still think that that's going to put her up in the top 3. So maybe John was right with his call.
Yeah, I think so, possibly.
And Chris, as a photographer, you'll understand that shooting into the sun is very difficult. Arena HD, who are providing this photography this afternoon, have got their filters on, and they really are getting some, as you said, some cracking shots, because I can't actually see Uvis with the sun.
The only other thing is that on days like this, I would be the other side of the lake. It's a long walk round, trust me. I've done it quite a few times over the years that we've been racing in Kaunas. That is a very long walk to that grass bank. But, the exercise always did me good.
Well, Uvis went faster that time, 48.192.
Still shy of the 47.
Yeah.
I think that's going to put Uvis mid back. Let's see what Mr. Rosenberg can come up with. Here's another guy that's using a Mulgard hull that's relatively new to him. The first time out, I think that he put it into good effect was back in Tonsberg when he was at Frodi's International Ordinary event. and I think that was the completely different type of coursing. See how Osterberg gets on.
Yeah, and Osterberg, another long-time F2 campaigner as well. So, there's still some old school F2 drivers here with really sort of like Nikita Leaks really being the young gun, and Giacomo Sacchi also the young guns really of this class at the moment for the field we got here today. And I was just trying to think, probably the youngest world champion that we've ever had in Formula 2. I mean, you probably correct me on this, but it was either between Eric Stark or Alberto Comparato, and my money was
It was
probably on
Comparato.
Alberto.
Yeah, it's Comparato. Looking at the nose of that Mulgard, you can see that it's got some aero fins on it. That's actually an idea that's been developed by DAC. If you look at the front of Rashid's
Yeah.
DAC when he raced last year, Guido Cappellini, who obviously is just the maestro when it comes to boat design currently, he's developed this aero package that the DAC have been using to really good effect, just to shift the air across the front of the nose in a more aerodynamic way. And it looks like Christian Molgard has gone out and made some copies to go on the front of Osterberg's Molgard hull there.
Chris,
John.
I'm with Owen Gell. Owen, problems all afternoon.
Yeah, that's right, John. We're a bit disappointed. We can do at the moment 2/3 of a lap, so I'm really happy with the performance of 2/3 of a lap. But as you know, 2/3 of a lap don't make a lap, right? So we're 10 seconds down, which is obviously because we've got a problem. We have Mercury's top guy here. We've changed almost everything on the engine, and frustratingly is we've seen problems with the bits we've changed, thinking, we've found the problem. But at the moment, when after 2/3 of a lap, it starts to miss or lose RPM, and the engine won't rev. So, and then slow down, then it repeats itself. So, if anyone knows what the component failure is for that, then I'm delighted. But we have changed everything.
So you need to find that other 25%.
We need to find 25%. I normally say we need to find 2%, but it's always good to have a big challenge, right?
Good luck with it all. Back to you guys.
Okay, so Osterberg put in a 49 for the first lap, and now he's bettered that by going 48.70 for his second lap. Still not quick enough to catch Uvis, though. So once again, all the guys seem to be hovering around about the 48-second mark.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. But I think from now on, maybe the quick guys are coming, because Nikita Leaks is next. He is next out onto the race course, a former F4 driver, but he's done lots of other things in his younger days, and they're not so long ago, are they? Not for Nikita, but out there in the Mulgard, another Mulgard
No, it's not a
pole
Mulgard.
choice.
I thought it was.
Oh no, sorry,
It's not a
sorry, no,
Mulgard.
it's an ASV. Yeah,
ASV.
sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah, of course it is. But
It's a Hungarian-built ASV.
yeah, which back in the day, very popular in Formula 4 and of course Formula 3, and even in the F500 class. But
Yeah,
F2,
ASV.
we'll see
Jason.
what he can do.
Jason and Chris.
Yep, go for it.
Okay, I'm with Uvis. Uvis, how did you feel that went?
So Jason, actually we are struggling with some problems. We don't know what's the reason, but what's causing that. But there is not enough speed for us and acceleration. So now we are still looking for that. But now we had a better timing than before. So hopefully, we find out what's the reason, and we add a little bit more.
So you're getting weighed now, and then to get ready for the match race?
Yeah, surely.
Good luck with that, mate. Back to you guys.
Thanks, John, for that. Good to hear Uvers there and his thoughts. And the match race, of course, which is coming up straight after. Well, I think it's an hour after the shootout. So we'll get back to you on that as we watch Nikita Leaks then in this first of his shootouts. And Chris,
49.2. That's still hasn't got anywhere near the 48-second mark. He's going to have to go again, and he's going to have to put his foot further down on the medal, I think.
Yeah, but I'm not so sure that this is going to even beat that lap time. It looks slow. The boat to me from that angle, it's difficult to say, but it looked flat. It still looks fairly flattish. It's picking up a little bit now, isn't it? But we'll get a better shot at it at the moment when we see it come towards us. Now let's watch him out of the corner. He's now trimming. Now, yeah, it's dancing now, isn't it? Almost a little bit too high there, Chris.
Yeah, perhaps that's where he's really losing. I can just see the rear of the sponson there just kicking out of the water a touch. Obviously, the less that of the sponson you got in the water, the faster you are typically going, depending upon how brave you're feeling. Let's see what he's doing this time. Come on, Nikita. Let's see if you can. And now it's a 48.83, so he's fourth place at the moment. He's not going to be very happy with that at all.
So next out then on the water is the 3 times world champion, Colin Jelf, who is next to go, who is racing in a Mulgard. And, well, time will tell. Fastest time in free practice earlier on today was a 48.520. The time at the moment for tomorrow's Grand Prix to put himself in pole position, which he needs to beat, is 47.233, set by, of course, Bimber. He's
Jason,
got 2 laps to have a go at this, and yeah, come in, John.
Jason, I'm with Johan Osterberg. How did you feel your qualifying session went?
Well, it was a little bit strange with shortening the course on the first lap, and but we decided the wrong crop. It was a little bit too small, but otherwise it's pretty satisfied with it.
Okay, so to get the boat weighed now and then ready for match racing?
Absolutely.
Ask
Good
him
luck with
about
it.
the new aero package. Is he running a new aero package on the front of that boat?
Johan, is that a new aero package on the front of the boat?
Yeah, it's a little bit of a new design in the front and the back, so we're trying, and we have a lot of time this summer to test, so we're trying.
We've all had a lot of time this summer. Thank you very much.
That's what I thought. He's keeping that one a bit close to his chest, wasn't he? I'd love to know
Well,
what they've done to the rear of that boat. But I mean, Christian Mulgard is always, he's always keeping up with these things. He's obviously taken a very good look at the DAC. Let's see whether perhaps some little Mulgard modifications probably might have helped this man going out on the field at the moment. Oh, he's very high at that point, wasn't he? Colin, you need to keep the nose of that down a bit, boy.
Yep, it's getting a little bit excited out there, isn't he? Colin Jelf, then let's see what he can do as he's out there on the water. Yeah, that boat's dancing a little bit, isn't it? On the back
Certainly is.
sponsons.
Oh, a
As we have
49,
a 9, yeah. That's not
Oh,
there, is it?
still not
It's
being used. I get the feeling that when that gust of wind caught him, it probably didn't do him any favours.
no, and has that upset the balance for the next lap as well? Let's just wait and see how it's affected him. I
I
don't
don't think it.
think. I think you're right,
I don't
Chris.
think it would
I don't
affect him,
think he's
but
going.
I just don't. He's. I don't think he's going to get anywhere near the time that he did in the shootout. Once again, see that's it. Once again, he's lost a little bit of time there. It's just coming out of that top turn there, where the wind is possibly catching up a little bit, and it's just getting underneath that Mulgard.
Well, let's have a look at the time then, and
Oh
it is
my
second
goodness me!
fastest.
Second fastest.
48.072, so 48.072, yeah, second fastest at the moment, but hey, there's still 3 more boats left to go, 3 more drivers, Edgaros Riabko, Sammy Salio and Bart Benavente still to come.
Jason.
Yep, come in, John.
Yeah, I'm with Matthew Balfourman. Matthew, you've been working with the Owen Jelf racing team this weekend as initially their entertainment manager, but you've had a busy day. Tell us about it.
Yeah, looks like I got demoted from being the entertainment manager for the rest of the day, but no, he's got an issue. It's a fuel issue, but as always, there's 10 different things it can be. We seem to be going through them, but I think we're down to a motor change now.
How long will you guys be working tonight?
Hopefully not too long. Hopefully they'll change motor. And well, the problem is they're going to put it on the test wheel, and we were fine yesterday on the wheel, so it's only when we ever get
Under
on
load.
the water, yeah. So be interesting. Whether we can get it changed before the match race and try and use that as a test is another story, but I don't know. I think we'll regroup in a minute and see where we go.
Great, thanks for speaking to us.
And here we go, local hero out on the circuit, ready for his put in his fastest 2 laps of the day, hopefully, as Edgaris Ryabko's fans will be hoping and cheering him on. He's got that DAC beautifully set up, just a little bit out of the water there, just before he came into the turn.
Yeah, certainly looks a fast lap at the moment, and let's see what Edgaros can do. 48.336 was his fastest time in free practice, second fastest in that particular session, but let's see if he can do things where it counts.
I think this is looking particularly quick. It's looking certainly particularly smooth. Wonder if he's going to catch the end. No, you see just there where the mole guard of Colin Jelf was beginning to take off. Obviously, Edgaris has got it slightly better trimmed out, and you can just about see the bottom of the gear case there. It's another potentially quick time. Let's see what he can put in. That's a 48.69, so that's only given him 4th fastest at the moment. He won't be happy with that. Certainly not tucked behind Uvis.
Definitely not, and that means then, unofficially, that Bimber will, whatever happen, will start a minimum 3rd on the grid. Now, this is where it gets super serious now, because Sammy Salio next to go for
Well, let's just
the
see
current
this
Formula
last
One
lap.
champion.
Let's see this last lap for Ryabko. Maybe he can hook it up, and maybe it's going to be a better time. Let's see if he can actually finish ahead of Uvis.
Definitely looking a little bit more flighty round the turn there, but Edgaros then, let's see, 4th fastest at the moment, but can he move up? Can he get the jump on Uvis? Can he get the jump on
No,
Colin Jelf?
no, it's looking like that. It's his best time was his first one that he recorded as a 48.69. So it looks like he's going to be staying in 4th place at the moment.
Chris, Matt
So
Portman just made an interesting point that the 2 drivers we've got to come, both Sammy Salio and Duarte Benavente, are used to shootouts in F1 H2O.
Oh, we've technically lost the screen a little bit. Oh, here we go. Yeah, I mean, but then having said that, we've also seen quite a few people in the F1 H2O series throw it over in the shootout. So you remember the times in China when they were out by themselves, and we had some guys getting some serious problems out there with the likes of Philip Chap and various other drivers being caught out. Let's see what Celio can do. He's running that Baba hull beautifully across the top there, but whether Bimber is going to be too much of a target to hit, I don't know. Let's see what Celio can do as he's crossing the line now.
Oh, that was a super quick turn, though, wasn't it, there from Celio? If he's made up any time on the rest of them, it will be probably from that turn. But it's looking good up the straight as we now look at side angle round the right-hander.
Right up to the top end of the turn now.
Yep, up to turn 5 and then across 420 metres to turn 6. And then it's that long straight to where they actually.
And this is the turn. This is the turn where we've all been hitting, when everyone's been hitting a little bit of crosswinds is coming out there. And once again, Sammy's on top of it. Let's see what he can post.
So,
whoa, third
fastest
fastest, 48.15. He won't be happy with that. He's maybe Bimber by going out last. Maybe the weather conditions have changed a little bit, and it's definitely the breeze is picked up or something or other. Maybe that's like a canny move from Bimber to be the first out on the water.
Did they look at the forecast? Did they watch the weather station? Was that the technical part? What they said that they had tactics. Was that the tactic? Do you think? Let's see what Celio can do in response on his second lap then, as he comes down towards us. But it could be a tall order. He's got to find another second, hasn't he? Really, to try and get up there into pole position.
48.22. He was slower on his second lap. So that's put him into 3rd place at the moment, and Bimber is looking really, really comfortable out on pole position. Maybe did you have Bimber down as pole, or did you have Benavente down on pole? Because my prediction obviously hasn't worked.
I
I
had
had Bimber
Benavente
as
as
third.
Well, I think we've
And
underestimated the young lady.
well, we know how exceptionally
now.
quick she is.
Let's see what Mr. Benavente can do as he goes out. Yeah, this could be maybe Benavente would. But did any of us think that Colin Jelf would be second on the grid at the moment? I certainly didn't think so. I got to admit.
No, that's a bit
Three-time
of an
world
unprediction
champion.
as well, isn't it? Well, Benavente then, he has been up until Bimber's lap the fastest person around the racecourse here in Lithuania, but can he make it stick when it needs to? As we watch two special laps then coming up from Benavente.
Where's he going to find
And
that extra second?
well, you know him, Chris. I mean, is he the type of driver who will feel pressure? Will he feel a little bit under pressure now to to get this pole position, or will it really not matter to him too much?
To be honest, I don't think it's really going to matter him too much because one of the things that he's so used to is he's so used to fighting his way through traffic. When I saw him race last year in Toro, he absolutely put an amazing lap together to actually work his way up onto the podium. So he is a driver that probably he could think that he could get a decent acceleration off the start line. Let's see how they go when they're on the pontoon, when they start pontoon and those lights go out. Benavente transforms into a completely different driver. So so he could get the jump on everybody.
Well, we'll wait and see as we now watch Benavente in action. And yet, last year, qualifying here for Benavente, well, just
He
looking back,
finished
he
10th.
was 10th.
He
Yeah,
was
10th on
10th.
the grid, wasn't he? So,
Yeah. So I mean, it was one of those ones where if you just wonder what it's like on the day.
don't know. It
Here
seems
he
a
comes.
rather long out lap, but here we go. Yeah, this is it now. This is Duarte Benavente as round the turn. The only driver in Formula 2 at the moment in 2020 running a Moorhull. But let's see if it will pay off. In fact, there's 5 different constructors in Formula 2 here this weekend. But let's just see what this Moorhull can do in this shootout. So Benavente and Chris coming down towards us.
Very smooth.
47.233 is the time to beat.
Oh, that's not good.
Wow.
48.3. Goodness me. Maybe the weather has gone up a little bit.
Well, I'll tell
So
you
does
what,
that
he's
mean then?
supported it, hasn't he? He's not given.
Yeah,
It
that's
didn't look
it.
to me.
So
But
Bimber.
yeah.
Oh, I mean, I think Duarte might have missed a boy on his opening lap, on his first lap, which is
Yeah,
why I think he only had one second lap to go.
yeah, I see that
So I
as well,
think,
and I thought,
yeah, I mean, because you both you and I were confused because we said, well, that's an awful long out lap that he's taken. I think he suddenly realised that he'd actually had missed a boy, and that's going to put him way down. That puts him mid pack tomorrow.
yeah.
So
So for
congratulations,
retro
Bimber.
brains here. Yeah. So is this the first time we've had a young lady driver in pole position in Formula 2? Because I think it is.
I think it is as well. Yeah, because
So
Bimber's
in
always been
that
up
case,
there. Yeah, so this is first. I think she's made history today by being the first ever female on the pole position in F2.
yeah, this is pretty special. And wow, what a very, very special lap it was. 47.233 seconds. No one, no, not even the 3 times world champion, not even Dwight Benavente, not even Sammy Salio, 2 times Formula One world champion. No one could touch Bimba today. Can she make it stick for tomorrow? It's well, tomorrow's
Jason,
another day, isn't it, Chris? You know.
Jason,
Yep, come in, John. Yep.
I've got Bimba with me. Bimba, you are the first lady ever to take a UIM F2 pole position. Congratulations.
Oh, well, thank you, if that's true.
So when I spoke to you after your 2 laps, you didn't think you'd done quite as well. And you've actually gone out and set the best of the afternoon.
Yeah, that was awesome. There was I felt I could have maybe done a little bit better, but it was good enough. So that's fantastic news.
Well, it really is an absolutely stunning performance, and absolute congratulations.
Thank you very much, and thanks to all the followers.
Back to you guys.
Well, yeah. I mean, because looking back, I think her best ever result up until then, I think she started second on the grid at one event, I think. But certainly, I don't think I've ever seen either Bimba or Meta or Yvonne Kunich or any of the young ladies that have raced, or Simone Schuff, any of the ladies that have raced Formula 2 in the last few years. None of them have started from pole position. So yeah, that was quite an amazing achievement that she's made there, and I think she's also quite a tough cookie to pass as well. So she's not going to be this is not going to be easy for her. Obviously, she's going to be following in the likes of uh, what I mean, in a way, the woman that we always look to these days is Marit Stromoy in Formula One, but perhaps Bimba now is going to be all the women that we chase, or the woman that we look for.
Yep, I think you're right, and I think it's been a long time coming as well. You know, we always knew that she was quick. She was quick in the old Mulgar, but this new boat really has gelled together with Bimba. So, yep, it could be a double history-making moment here this weekend in Lithuania.
Now, guys, who's going to collate our match racing positions?
Well, we need to find out first whether Owen Jeff is actually going to be up and running. Otherwise, someone's going to get by straight into the second round.
Europos čempionate 2017 metais startavęs iš 6 pozicijos jis tapo Europos vicečempionu.
And who wants to write the article about Racing World, Bimba on pole?
Oh, well, I think there's got to be the man who's just spoken to her.
Yeah,
Nice
you are on the
delegation.
scene, John.
You were talking about running a moor. I've been running moor all afternoon.
Ah.
And still the jokes come in. Well, in the meantime, I think we're going to just have a short break, I think, until we wait for the match racing. Chris, just quickly, these boats look a little bit familiar to me.
Oh, well, you've got to be a complete madman to get in one of these things.
You've got to be a complete madman to order a new one. So I'll be watching this with interest.
Good. So when do you have your frontal lobotomy?
Say again. So I missed that. Where do I have my what?
when did you have your frontal lobotomy?
Oh, I don't know. Probably about 15, 16 years ago, I think.
I was thinking.
When it all changed.
When you discovered your love of travelling across your nose, travelling across the water at 100 miles an hour, 2 inches above it.
I can only wish it 100 miles an hour.
Speaking of brains, guys, if we wrap this up and we'll come straight back for the match racing.
Okay. No, I was quite having a nice afternoon chatting with my old chum over there in the east part of England.
Have you not got a telephone box in your road?
No.
We've still got one.
No, we're still doing pigeons here.
We don't have that kind of thing over here. We shoot them.
I was going to say, you eat them all, don't you? Right.
That's
Okay.
right,
Well,
bully.
I'm going to go off for my 17th jar of espresso, and I will catch up with all you guys later.
Yeah,
What
do
a
join us
pleasure.
for the match racing. Do join us for the match racing. It's going to be fun.
Cheers,
Speak to you all
guys.
later.
Thanks.
Thanks.
skaičiuoja paskutinę dalyvę šito plaukimo ir po to 4 minučių pauzė. Informaciniai gėlėjai, Kauno diena ir Autos, Rėmėjai, Vosto ir Magnova, Galant, Kraftware, vidaus vandens kelių direkcija, Margas, Lietuvos meteorologijos direkcija, Kauno rajono savivaldybė, Vytautas, Aldinga, Kystė, Rotama, Elektrinis paspirtukas. Ar žinojai, kad booster paspirtukais gali išvystyti net 80 km/h greitį ir nuvažiuoti iki 150 km atstumą? Booster stende prie scenos skirta išskirtinė galimybė daryti galingus booster paspirtukus. Laukiame jūsų. Daugiau informacijos www.booster.lt.
visada eterį, dabar pas mane būna, tai taip gražiau truputėlį, nes labai jau kampuotai yra. Gerai, ruošiamės, pabiškai, va, čia vyksta dalyva.
Viso renginio metu renginio teritorijoje dalyvauja žiūrovai, aptarnaujantis personalą kaip sportininkai. Viso renginio metu renginio vietoje dėvėti nosį ir burną dengiančias apsaugos priemones. Laikykis vieno pagrindinio troškimo. Saugokite aplinką. Atleiskite. Do not be spectators. Vandens pogrių bateliai čempionatą pristatavo BTV, partneriai, Švietimo sporto ir mokslo ministerija ir Kauno miesto savivaldybė. Generalinis rėmėjas, Valdinas, sveikinas apsaugos. Pagrindinis rėmėjas, Vytauto Vasaras. Informaciniai rėmėjai, Kauno diena ir Autobusas.
Jūs dar plaukimas. Turėjo plaukimas. Jo, dar bus šis plaukimas, tikrai pats nežinau, kas dabar čia bus, bet turėtų dar būti sprintas galbūt. Ir kaip čia? Nu, kiek mačiau, kiek filmavau, tai yra. Bet rezultatų tai nežinau. Čia tik sunkiau šaviau į tą racijas, kol kas tai nelabai tiesiog, kai pradeda užtvaryti niekam. Jo, turėtų iš tikrųjų startuoti turi tokį portalą. 16 kempingas, gal sprinto čia. Tai čia sprinto, kas greitai. Jo, tikriausiai. Labai aš nesinaudoju. Liaudės ten daug kamerės pavažiuos. Ten? Skambinau dabar užsienio kažkaip. tiesiog eina į socialinius tinklus. Žinau, kad tai YouTube Facebook'e, kad kadrų gal arba 15 minučių, gal nežinau, kažkur susitinka.
Geriausia, kad mes net jos nejudinam, tiesiog stebėti ir norėjome.
Nu, tiksliai nežinau. Neaišku, labai to. Tu bent jau vat. Laiku, nes 8 ryto nuo ryto čia toks. Kažkas yra nuo 10-15 varžybose UNF. 12. Na, galbūt tas kokios nors informacijos.
Bet pas mus vis tiek gravo.
Kaip plaukėjo? Nu, matos ten. pakankamai. Toliau varyti tai jau ne kažką būt.
Čia iš visų kampų filmuoja.
Jo, 4 kameros čia, aš tada ten 2 ant to kyšulio ir 1 prie pietų. Ir dar yra pora viduj valčių, nu ne valčių. Kaip čia pavadintis?
Prie starto tiltelio matome 41 numerį. Tai žodis Šeimyčios 4 formulė ir 3 keiseriai.
Čia dar ne tie rimti.
Tai repo F2
Ką?
o repo F2 nedalyvauja?
66 numeris.
Kem pirmas, man atrodo.
Marie Louise Širink, 66 numeris. Antras numeris Gintaras Marcinkus. Labiau žinomas kaip lyderis USI4
Dar reiškia, dar ne pabaiga.
Toliau Sigitas Šimaitis 20 numeris. Ir 22 Egidijus Tagilis. Startuoja pirmą sezoną, bet...
Tai tikriausiai dar Lietuvos tas vyksta.
Ir jau girdžiu muziką, tai toj prasidės pas mane startas, aš nusakau, taip,
Visai gerai, girdisi garsas.
Na, visi greitai profilaktiškai Lietuvos ima ant šitos dienos, mintyse ir būkit pasiruošę.
situacija atsirado dar vienas labai konkurencingas lyderis, būtent 76 asmeninis Marijos, kurios anksčiau aš pražiūrėjau, kad atrodo, kad nebuvo nustebėjęs. Gal pernai, užpernai anksčiau tikrai nebuvo, o dabar gali varžytis dėl pačios vietos. Taigi mūsų Salmono Arkintai, kuris dalyvauja Europos
Bijau, kad aš dabar pagrindinę mūsų kamerą daryk, ką gali geriausia.
Viskas. Dar manau bus arčiau buvo F2. F2?
Tie matai, bez tikrų jie važiavo visai. Kažkokį nerimą.
Kai kurie buvo. Vienas ten to žalias, tai visiškai be... Kai kurie juodas, o čia buvo susikurtas.
Juodas kaip ir repko vaizdas, bet man atrodo, kad jisai padavęs kažkam jos kitokius dar. Taip ir dalykas.
Jis dabar su tokiu mėlynu.
Savo mokyklą atidarė jis. Mokykime jaunimą.
Bet tai vienintelis Lietuvoje.
Nėra tokių rimtų kaip Europos kaip čempionas.
Gerai.
Čia kaip pernai užkėmės antroje vietoje. Pasaulio kaip vadokso važiavo gegužės mėnesį. Apsivertė arabai, ten taip pat. Vienas kaip apsivertė, tai ištraukti pasamą. Kokį orą jie turi savo metą. Užtek oro, kol dar plaukė išneši.
Bet aš įsivaizduoju, čia gali gerai pasitikėti.
Tai žinai, kai virsta jisai, tuos tipų žemyn tu gali viską. O dar netversta, kaip neškas.
Ai, nu, realiai. Trupeilis. Ir šiaip ir čia. Tam didelio greičio čia lekia, tai šiaip užmestų.
Apie 200 greitis. Eina ant rekordo, kažkaip aš nežinau. 190 ar 2 kažkur tai kokį rekordą.
Nežmoniškai.
Gerai, jungiu ketvirtą vėl kamerą.
Kelintą tavo čia.
Aš trečia. Tau dažnai sako taurimas.
Gražinu į Kijų. Kijų laiky bendrą vaizdą tokį. O tai kiek laiko čia dar bus? Sekundę.
Pagal idėją, tai už 25 minučių subaigdavo.
Tai visą tai nebūna.
Jo,
užstringa, tai avarija, tai dar kažkas.
Akumuliatorius ir inverteris, kuris jo. Jo, išlaikys planai.
Dėmesio, viso renginio metu renginio teritorijoje varžybų žiūrovai, aptarnaujantysis personalas ir sportininkai privalo viso renginio metu renginio vietoje dėvėti nosį ir burną dengiančias apsaugos priemones. Laikytis ne mažiau nei 1 metro atstumo. Saugokime vieni kitus. Attention! Throughout the event, spectators, service staff, and athletes must wear nose and mouth protection during the event. Keep a distance of at least 1 meter. Let's protect each other. Vandens sporto pasaulio čempionatą transliuota BTV. Partneriai Švietimo sporto ir mokslo ministerija ir Kauno miesto savivaldybė.
Tavo žodis man įsakymas.
Trečią kamerą galėtų praleisti.
Daugiau nei 20 metų sėkmingai gabenanti krovinius po visą Europą. Informaciniai rėmėjai Kauno diena ir Automat. Rėmėjai Vostok Europe, Magno Plus, Garant Software, Vidaus vandens kelių direkcija, Nordic, Lietuvos motorlaivių federacija, Kauno rajono savivaldybė, What About, Birža, Jukata, Eldinga, Bister, Rotoma, Saren, GPS Meistras.
Gali vėl išjungti, nes jie čia kūrėsi apie 5 kažkokius mažus.
Ar žinojate, kad net 80 km
Tai kitos kameros B-rollo irgi gali pagaudyti, kažką vis tiek mato. Tam, blet, vaikas koks piršto nosį kišo, tėčių valgį duoda, nu dabar tokius va pagaudykit, kad nebūtų statinis vaizdas.
Tuoj prasidės, Max kas ką gauna, kokį B-rollą, tai Taurimas gauna butelį, kuris bando suskandinti arba žinutę siunčia iš kažkur. Ai, viršutas kaip jau tuoj turėtų. Prieš tai tavo...
Ne, tikriausiai.
Tavo žemybė, dabar tarsi prieš tai tavo rango
Muzika, sėdamas kamerų, pasiruošėme pozicijas, žaidžiam.
Nu, tikiuosi paskutinis jau.
Aš, karoči, pasijėgiu muzikos, tai pagal tą lygį bandysiu. Reikis jėgų.
Neatėjo.
Ten sankaupa pirmajame posūkyje laivų, visi atrodo sėkmingai praėjo.
What I would do... Oh, that is now. That's, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just this way. That way. Yeah. Perfect. But I'm not live, am I?
Čia tai jo, visai nėra. Tas raudonas va greičiau ir toliau tai. Gaudėšiu turėčiau būti pakeliu iš čia. Jeigu rimtai, aš jau turėčiau dabar atvažiuoti iš čia, tai, nu, nežinau, bet...
I'll let you set it up.
Tai būnu, planuoju. Neišeina.
Right,
Ne, jau jūs man sensit.
Kažką.
Dar nesugalvojau. Neatsisakysiu šį kartą.
Hemorojus gali tau pasakyti, hemorojų.
Baigėsi surojus.
Hematogenų rojus, hemorojus trumpinys. Aurimai, bandyk gaudyti daugiau nei vieną. Nesakysiu, kas nes paskui negerai. Pamiršti Aurimai pykti. Jūs mašina pagalba, kuris Star Treko tais daiktais, kur skraido kosmose, varo čia. Iš viso pažiūrėjau papijus, kurį pagalvo. Aš ketvirtą kamerą. Dvi pagalvo, gerai, maladėts. Ir paskutinė pusė, kad maladėt. Paštas įjungė antrą kamerą. Jūs pagalvojat, 4 kadras sutampint, bet čia tik mėniškokį dalykas tapėjus. Lievas mėniškas šitą. Pijus važiuoja, Almanijos stogas važiuoja. Gerai, maladėts, ketvirtą kamerą su pijum, čia gerą darbą padarėt. Laiko ketvirtą pystį, tai išėjo 2 kadrų. Sveto pamatą, kai man labiausiai reikėjo. Pijus visai savo. Maladėts, pijum. Aurimas tik ieško, ką čia paaiškintumas, stresingai, pasakau, kas čia, pajėdas, įpys, kodėl tikės, padėti 46, viskas eina taip pamatyti per vieną. Ir petas atėjo. Davai, pijau, dar laikyk. Labai gražu. Tik jei pas mane indekas nelagintų, aš iš esančio euforijos sėdėčiau.
Rytoj galiu tik vieną kvietimą praplauti ir tai bus Lietuvos videosportas federacijos čempionato etapas baigtas. Na, o taip pat aš turėjau tokią labai simpatišką pertraukėlę. Nu, man žinokite atradimas. Aš pastebėjau, aš netgi grįžau įsitikinti, koks yra savo žaidimas. Tik didžiuliai palaikys mes kažkokiais. Gerą žodį, gerą būtų norėtų pasakyti plačiau ir tiesiog iš savo asmeninės patirties labai norėčiau padėkoti jiems ir taip pat be jokios abejonės šiandieną manau, kad daugelis yra labai tokioj komfortabilioj savo pozicijoje, ar tai yra stovima ar sėdima pozicija, bet be jokios abejonės aš manau, kad tai yra vienas fantastiškiausių vakarų dienų, apskritai rudenio. Jeigu būna, nevažiuoji kur nors į tos dimensijos, į Palangą, ten prie jūros, į Klaipėdos, ten visada laipsniai kitur vėsiau, be abejo tas svarbesnis jūrinis vėjas prasideda.
Jeigu žemyninėje Lietuvos dalyje būna apsiniaukę, tai atrodo nuo jūros, tai tie visi debesis būna nuplaukę, jie būna nupūsti ir kaip tik būna gražus oras. O jeigu Kaune arba žemyninėje Lietuvos dalyje geras oras, tai reiškia, kad gal labai ten ne visai kas darosi. Bet kita vertus, aš labai džiaugiuosi, kad esu pats asmeniškai kaunietis ir smagu, kad Lietuvos motorolaivių sporto meka išlieka Kaunas. Čia dar šis vardas yra sustiprinamas dėl to, kad būtent dar neseniai praeitą mėnesį buvo atidaryta vienintelė Lietuvos motorolaivių sporto akademija. Ir, na, smagu, kad ten bus brandinamos ateities čempionų kartos, smagu. Na, o taip pat vakaras ir diena su visais reikalais dar nesibaigė, mes turėsime match race. Ir tai bus vienas prieš vieną dvikova, kurioje dalyvaus sportininkai dėl įstabių prizų. Renona ir Panasonic kompanijos įsteigė nuostabius prizus. Nuostabus 4K Ultra HD, Bright Channel Plus, ekranai, pusantro metro išraižainės, 58 kolonų ir tiksliai 1800 hercų. Jūsų darbo kompiuteris turi 75 pagal 60 geriausią atveju. Įsivaizduokit, kokia raiška, kokia skiriamoji geba. Na, iš tiesų įspūdingas prizas laukia mūsų pilotų pirmos, antros ir trečiosios vietos. Taip pat pagalbiniai mūsų žmonės šio renginio keliauja su pagalbinėme valtį, su pagalbinė valtimi ir jų rankose didelės geltonos spalvos bujos, kurios žymės techninį posūkį, o match race, taip pat, kaip mes žinome, būna ir šiokių tokių korekcijų trasoje. Kitaip tariant, turėsime vienas prieš vieną pilotus, kurie varžysis čia dėl pagrindinio prizo. Ir pasižiūrėsime, ar... Na, žinau, kad Edgaras Leško tikrai yra parsivežęs keletą apdovanojimų iš būtent tokio pobūdžio lenktynių. Tai yra labai smagu ne tik žiūrėti, komentuoti, bet ir taip pat. Galima sakyti, kad match race yra kaip drago lenktynės, tik kad vienas atlieka posūkį anksčiau, kitas vėliau, tada kaip ralyje, ralyje, pasaulio čempionato ralyje yra special stage. Taip tariant, vienodo ilgio atkarpa, kurią turi įveikti tiek vienas, tiek kitas pilotas.
Rallycross'e.
Ne.
Papildomą jokerio ratą.
Ne,
Kada nori pasirenka?
Ne.
Nu, ne visai.
Rallycross'as, jo. Rallycross'as yra rallycross'as, yra trasa, yra jokerio ratas, o VRC
Na jau paskutinis tikriausiai.
Na, greičio ruožų, žinom, tai pamiškiai, tai Suomiai yra žymiai traktyviai ir taip toliau.
Šeštoj vietoj nuo pusės pirmos, o šiaip tai šiandien nuo
Labai
šeštai.
dažnu atveju būna rengiamas stadionas arba kažkokios...
Tai va dėl to ir skaičiuoju.
Trasa, kuri turi vienodą ilgį ir trasą galima įveikti tiek vienoje, tiek kitoje pusėje. Kitaip tariant, du pilotai varžosi joje vienu metu ir visame viename observacijos taške žiūrėtume pamatyti, kaip sportininkas veikia tą atsaką. Trasa nėra didelė, ten gal 2 minutės su trupučiu trunka tos varžybos.
Būčiau tik tai šitam pavesti, čia nieko, kad čia gan lengva. Nedaug tų balų važiuoti. Kai du vienu metu.
Na, o po to vienas iš dalyvių turės plaukti tiesiąją, atlikti tolimesnį posūkį, kitas darys posūkį anksčiau. Na ir pamatysime. Tai bus tikrai pakankamai įdomu. Visada match race būna vienas iš tų etapų, kuris toks lengvas atsipalaidavimas prieš didžiosius rytojaus startus. Na ir be abejo, aš manau, kad laimėjimas tai tikrai bus geras, kuriais atvejais tai laimimas piniginis ir prizinis daiktas, tai gali būti buvo kažkada, nenorėsiu vardą kompanijų, bet įvairiausiai laikrodžiai, kažkokie aksesuarai, UAB Renona ir Panasonic įsteigė absoliučiai fantastiškus 4K Ultra HD Panasonic televizorius, kurie, aš manau, kad tikrai atras vietą kiekvieno čempiono svetainėje.
Visą šitą kovą pamatysim netrukus ant vandens. Edgaras Repko turi pakankamai patyrimo šitoje rungtyje ir tikrai galima laukti geriausių rezultatų. Nu, yra kažkoks tai loterijos elementas šitoje rungtynėje. Pažiūrėsim. Linkime paties geriausio, tuoj viską pamatysim. Kas liečia orą ir visą nuotaiką, čia pilnai pritariu Andriui, tikrai diena išskirtinė. Į vakarą oras dar geresnis, nuostabu tiesiog. Turbūt mūsų prezidentas Edgaras užsakė orą.
Nežinau, iš kur jis ištraukė tą internetinį tinklalapį, kur ten gali sumokėti 2 eurus ir galbūt paukoti tos kelis eurus gyvuliui, bet nežinau, reikės paklausti, kad tinklalapis vadinasi. Matyt, kažkokia tai va tokia užsakoma iniciatyva įsirengia, nes Kaune kažkaip prasto oro dar nėra buvę, kai kas liečia pasaulio čempionato pirmenybės Formulėje 2.
Kaunas yra Kaunas.
Aš dabar eterį, ne?
Valdemarai, jeigu Edgaras Repko laimės mes su jais, ar galėsite padainuoti mums dainą Mes prie Nemuno užaugę?
Pirmą eilutę tą tau pakartot galėsiu, toliau nelabai.
Gerai, tai tampa mūsų tarpusavio varžybos. Man nuo to tik tai bus nenustebėti, kaip Edgarui Repko seksis gerai, žodis nežvirblis, tikrai lauksime pirmus skiemenuko iš jūsų. Na, o čia taip pat matome prie starto leptelio bent jau daugumą formulių. Nesu įsitikinęs dėl kelių iš jų. Ar Italijos Giovannis Točius dalyvaus šiuose varžybose ir Ovenas Džiaukas, nes kol kas jų nematau. Ne, vis dėlto Oveną Džiauką aš matau. Na, dar nors prieš Vitalį. Manau, kad sakė, kad Oveną Džiauką trečiasis startas numeris vienas laivas. Na, taip pat aš savo pašonėje turiu informacijos, kurią norėčiau tikrai pasidalinti su visais. Dėl to, kad besidomint Panasonic techniką, mes žinome ir dar vieną tokią sąsają su Hollywoodu. Panasonic ir Hollywoodas tikrai yra daug bendro turintis dalykų. Kaip ir Hollywoodo filmų kūrėjai, kurie negaili nieko, kad suteiktų jums puikių išgyvenimo, taip ir Panasonic pasitelkdami pažangiausias technologijas ir žinias sukūrė televizorius, kurie gali nepriekaištingai tiksliai atkurti istorijas. Panasonic televizoriai aukštai vertinami Hollywoodo kino pramonės ir ne tik derinami Hollywoode, bet ir naudojami profesionalių koloristų apdorojant nufilmuotą medžiagą. Trumpai tariant, šio japonų gamintojo televizoriai tai vaizdas ir garso kokybė, tai Hollywoodas jūsų namuose. Na, kas gali būti geriau nei Hollywoodas namuose. Na, nebent mamos mano keptas obuolių pyragas. Bet ir tai reikėtų šią savaitę sukomponuoti su geru vakariniu seansu. Vandenyje 8 formulės, kitaip tariant, vyks 8, tai yra 4 mikro dvikovos, tada pusfinalis ir finalas. Taip, įsidėstys mūsų varžybų dalyviai lentelėje ir, na, dabar vadinamos tos atkrintamosios pusfinalis ir finalas. Labai bus paprasta ir lengva skaičiuoti, nereikės sukti ratų ar skaičiuoti minučių, viskas vyksta pakankamai greitai. 2 ratai, tačiau per tos 2 ratus skirtingų trajektorijų ratus tiek vienas, tiek kitas pilotas įveikia vienodą distanciją. Tik tai vienas keliauja į tolimesnę bują, kitas į artimesnę bują. Tas, kuris yra arčiau kairės pusės, arčiau posūkio, tas atlieka posūkį pirmas, tas, kuris yra išorėje ir dešinėje, plaukia toliau. Na ir tada tas pilotas, kuris įveikė posūkį pirmas, keliauja prie tolimesnės bujos ir dažniausiai finišas būna labai įspūdingas. Dėl to, kad abu pilotai, jeigu jie panašaus pajėgumo, finišuoja vienas šalia kito.
Ir foto finišo gali prireikti.
Kada negali prasidėti.
Čia dabar trumpai greitai turėtų pralėkti 2 ratai.
2 ratai?
Jau sakė 2 ratai, po 2 plauks. Viskas ir...
Tada kiek čia iš viso yra?
8 sakė, po 2 plaukia dabar, po 2 ratus. Iš pradžių, kuris pralaimi krenta ir kuris laimi eina toliau.
Ai, čia tas mėnų turnyras. Numirė powerbankas, nebeturiu talilaito.
Tai negerai. Žinai, kaip darysim? Bandysiu pranešti arba žiūrėk, tiesiog bandyk gaudyti pagal situaciją, kaip
Tai jie po 2 lėks, tai tiesiog seksiu, kiek matau.
Man smėgo ausinės, aš selo nieko negirdžiu. Talilaitus stebiu, matau, šetrį kada ne.
Aparatą, tai jie nesai kokį darys, tą trumpesnį ar tą ilgesnį?
Tai vienas vieną iš pradžių, kitas kitą, paskui keičiasi.
Aha.
Tai bus iš kairės tas trumpesniu, iš dešinės ilgesniu.
Įdomu, kaip greit čia jas leis.
Po 2, tuoj pradėt turės tą vėliavą nusimatyti. Teisėjai.
Nes ar pertraukas darys ten tarp tų važiavimų ar ne?
Jeigu visi iššokia jau vandenį, tai greičiau čia pasisuks. Šitas teisėjo jau turi būti. Būdavo taip. Tada jie pasiruošę, buvo pasakė krantą. Reikia paskambinti, maitintų jau. Kažkur tai užstrigo.
daug kas valdo.
Aptarnauja ten ir banketą turi viską.
Dėmesio! Viso renginio metu renginio teritorijoje varžybų žiūrovai, aptarnaujantis personalas ir sportininkai privalo viso renginio metu renginio vietoje dėvėti nosį ir burną dengiančias apsaugos priemonės. Laikytis ne mažiau nei 1 metro atstumo. Saugokime vieni kitus. Attention! Throughout the event, spectators, service staff, and athletes must wear nose and mouth protection during the event. Keep a distance of at least 1 meter. Let's protect each other. Vandens sportinių pasaulio čempionatą
Well, Jason, are you back yet from your tea break?
Well, yeah, just fully refreshed now. A couple of phone calls and a couple of bottles of water, and we're ready to go almost. Final preparations into the race course. I guess I should just do a check that you can hear me really, first of all, Chris.
Yeah, of course I can, mate. Couple of bottles of water. I would have thought you'd have cracked one open by now.
Well, you know, they're in the fridge. They're on standby, but well, yeah. I bet John has.
No, I think he's still suffering from last night. Actually, I think there might be a few celebrations in the Bimber camp tonight, though.
Yeah, and just talking of that, actually, I just that was one of the conversations I was having, not via a phone call, but a little bit of a text chat, and yeah, the weather wasn't really in their heads. They weren't really thinking about the weather. They were thinking more about fuel choice, not having the boat sit in the water for too long, not, you know, and just little things like that, not having too much fuel on board. They don't want the boat to fill up if there is any leaks. Should there be any leaks in the boat, not having to put any extra weight on that boat. So that was their thoughts, that was their tactics, and my goodness me, did that not pay off or what?
I mean, that was just a superb effort by her, and she came back in saying, "No, that was far from perfect." It just makes you wonder what she's got in reserve for tomorrow.
Yeah, so I could tell you, I might tell you off air. I'll probably tell you off air what my thoughts are on that and what their thoughts are on that. Will they be quick away? I don't know. I guess they're
yes,
all.
But as long
not,
as you actually get to the first turn, nobody can go in front. You know, nobody can close the door on her. She should have the shortest journey to the first turn, and everyone else has to go around her. Nobody should be anywhere near her. The problem is with this type of course, and we've seen it in the past, is that there is always some sort of incident at the first turn. Okay, that's when we had 20 boats running last year. Now we've only got half that field, so in theory they should be spaced out further on the actual start pontoon. Hopefully, Mr. Brewer will give them even more space this year, because obviously, you know, taking social distancing to the extreme and making sure that nobody really should be crowding each other out when they get to that turn mark.
Yeah, absolutely. There's no need. There's no point in bunching everybody together. You know, if there's the space there, which there is, you know, just use it. And I'm sure they will. I think the good thing is that she's got Colin Jelf on the right-hand side. Now, Colin is not going to want to get involved in an accident tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure that, you know, although I use the word look after, you know, I think he'll be probably kind or kinder than maybe some of the other drivers in that first corner. But, you know, I can think of a lot of other worse drivers to have on the right-hand side of me than Colin Jelf.
Oh, for sure. You know, and there's always going to be that, let's hope they are all gentlemen and let the lady go first.
Well, yeah, manners, of course. There's
You
no,
want me to
you know it.
maybe from the match race?
You know it. There's no manners in racing.
I'll be down there in the office.
I will just send it.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you again,
always.
You're fantastic. It's good to see you again, my friends.
Good to see you too. But yeah,
That's
I have only
John
time for
sorting out
my
his
camera
taxi.
when my runs are done. So,
yeah.
Fantastic. So we're doing.
John sorted out his taxi home tonight, then, by the sounds of it.
Providing he can get in anywhere.
But you know, like he likes chauffeur driven wherever he goes. Looks like Mr. Brewer is ready to press the
us.
green button, and yeah, well, he's so multi-talented for a man of his age.
He's texting us now. Look at the screen. He's been actually very, very informative, and we must thank him for that.
Here
And
we
he's
go.
just told
I
us,
can hear an engine firing up.
So they're going to do a hot lap.
Yep.
You would have seen that text, Chris. They're going
Guys,
to do a
can
hot
you hear
lap
me?
and then straight back. And
Yes, we can,
come in,
John.
John.
Okay.
What news?
Well, the drivers had their meeting, as you've probably been talking about. They went to that to be informed what was the positions. And as we see Bimba just leaving the pontoon now. Benny Dorm's finest client releases her. I've obviously
apparently.
Yeah.
Go on, John.
It was just a bit of interest. There's a wedding going on behind the Owen Jelf tent, and I caught Massimo Ruggiero dancing to Rod Stewart, so that was a bit of fun in the interval.
I hope you've got that on film.
Right, so what we don't want to see then.
Go on, Jason.
Yeah, sorry. Oh no, I was going to give a build up for this, but yeah, carry on, Chris.
I was going to say the last time I photographed a wedding was always in St. Petersburg when we were doing F1 racing there. There would be thousands of married couples hanging around the pit area waiting for a photograph of them with a driver. It was, I probably could have made more money photographing the weddings than the actual race.
He did the wedding in Edinburgh on the Round Britain race.
Yeah, that's true. I am, I'm well used to the odd occasional wedding.
It would have been nice to
Normally-
get the race boat shots processed before the wedding shots that evening. I do remember.
Priorities. Right, so who's first up then? We've got Bimba versus Nikita, yes?
Yep, so that's first to go. So match racing, Chris, just briefly, we'll try and explain to our viewers that the match racing scenario and the match racing rules, the match racing course.
I mean, the beauty about it is actually it was developed for TV more than anything, because obviously it's two boats side by side. As soon as the lights go out, they get released. They head up on a similar course, so they one heads up and turns left around the first buoy, while the other one continues up to the top buoy where he turns left. Then they race each other back down to the start pontoon, and then they go on the alternate course, and then once again it's the first one back past the finish line that goes through to the next round. I mean, we have some amazing lineups today. I mean, one of the ones that's certainly mouth-watering is the prospect of local hero Riabko taking on Sami Celio.
Yeah, that's going to be a mighty challenge. And excuse me, two other ones. Really, we all have seen that the two Jelf brothers are going to battle it out in the match race. Although I think I know who's going to win that one. But the other one.
Oh, I don't know. I think you're going Colin and I'm going Owen.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, we'll do that. That sounds a good little scrap between us two there. But also,
yeah, because I think Owen's got nothing to lose, has he? He's okay. So he said that he hasn't got the top end, which something like this you really do need the acceleration. But I wonder whether Colin will just hold back, bearing in mind that he's sitting second place on the grid tomorrow. He doesn't really want to do anything stupid with that Mulgard.
Yeah, but we are talking Colin, and I'm sure that he'll still want to get a little bit aggressive behind the wheel. So we'll stick with that. You'll go number 3. I'll go number 4 on that one. But Osterberg and Ufus.
Okay, here we go.
We're off. And
we're off.
Viewers, here we go. This is it then.
And
So
what a
Bimba's
surprise.
Bimba's on the short course first.
Yeah.
She is. And Nikita Leaks wanders all the way up towards the top. Have you got a theory on this, Chris? I mean, the short courses, is there an advantage of doing the short lap first and then the second lap being the long lap so you can really wind it up and give it some towards the start-finish line?
Yeah, I think there is. I think this is going to suit Bimba more than it's going to suit Nikita. But Bimba's already gone around the top, so she's already got maximum speed when she is passing Nikita. Look, there she is. She's just flown straight past him. So I think that Bimba is definitely going to be on the course. I think that's going to be the course to win on. Look, I mean, Nikita's is been left so far behind. So hey, but then who knows? We might just the last time I commentated on a match race was in Tonsberg last year from Formula Two, and each time I thought it was going to go one way or the other, I was proved wrong. So it's one of those things. It's just a question of how quick those guys are at getting off the line, how
I
quick
tell
the
you
boat
what,
is as well.
I bet Bimba's pit crew are relieved that that one is over with. At least, I mean, she goes through, but it's one less chance of things going wrong. She's on a limited pit crew as well this weekend. She's got Scott there with her. She's got Glenn Safway, borrowed really from Sweden, but from hydroplane racing. And not really anybody else. I think they've dragged one or two of the locals in to kind of help her out this weekend. So whatever the format, it's definitely working, and it's just worked there once again in the match race. So Nikita Leaks is out, and a big X goes through 71. But this is the one that you really are up for, I think, Chris, because 41 v 17, Sammy Celio versus Edgaros Ryabko. Pick a winner.
This is going to be very tasty. Celio.
Well, because he had such bad luck last year, I'm going to go for Edgaros because he deserves.
You always
it.
like the underdog.
Well, yeah. I haven't been the underdog for many years, and probably still am, or I'm probably over the hill and just useless now. Either way, but that's a rather interesting interpretation of Edgaros's name. It's probably how I would have pronounced it last year, but here we go.
Our Lithuanian producer worked in London for 7 years, so perhaps he's got a bit rusty with his home language.
Okay, so I think Sammy's on the inside again. I think Sammy's going to be taking up the same spot that Bimba was on, which, it could prove my theory wrong, but I still think that that's going to be the leg to be on.
Yeah, we'll see as they return back and line up, but you can see it's two Italian hulls really versus each other. It's the Italian DAC versus this Italian Babber boat. And, Massimo's, one of Massimo's boats this weekend has really got to do him proud. Could it be this man? Could it be Sammy Celio? Can he get through this first round of the, excuse me, of the match race? So, they come back, and I think I disagree, Chris. I think that Edgaros is on the inside, and I think Sammy is on the outside.
Oh, yeah, looks like you're right. Okay.
So, yeah. So they get themselves turned round pretty quickly. Only two boats to get turned round. So it will be literally seconds. We don't want this boat getting in the way, which I'm pretty sure it won't. In fact, is that the boat with the start lights on? I possibly assume it might be.
I think that the problem with the light, especially when we're running these match races later on in the day, is that as the sun sets, it does make it slightly harder for the guys to see the lights. So I think that's one of the reasons possibly why the boat is moving. Yes, that's right. It is the lights.
Yeah, so the start lights are now getting, and you can see for yourselves then, now in position. And the simple red on, red off. And when they go off, like in any motorsport, and that logo's just in the way, isn't it? That's better. And they're on, Chris. The red lights are on. Here we go.
Here we go. Neck and neck to start off with.
Yep, a good start then from Ryabko. He zooms off. Now, has Celio, has he got enough top-end speed then by the time he reaches up the top there to get it up to full
Very white turn from Ryabko.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Let's see if that's paid off or not. He probably turned wide to keep the power on as much as he could do, so he didn't scrub off too much speed. But Chris, are you still there with Celio? Well, a great shot then as we look at Edgaros Riabko.
Oh, he just
Passes
cruises past
Celio.
him.
Look at
Yeah.
that. So that's 2 out of 2 for the inside lane, isn't it?
Yeah, that inside lane is definitely the one to have.
So Edgaros Riabko goes through and Sammy Celio is out of the match race.
Who after the match is just say who you want to follow.
1, 2, 3.
Interested in this one.
1, 2, 3, please. The winner, second,
Because,
third.
okay, I'll try to remember that.
We've got some hot information from the pits here, but John's left his mic on,
Bimba,
unfortunately.
please. Jelf, Colin Jelf, this one here. That's number 4, isn't it? Number 4. And Sammy, 17. Thank you.
Well, there we go, Chris. We're now looking at Edgaros, winner of the his round of the match race. Next up is Johan Osterberg, who will start on the outside lane, and Uwe Slakteris in 51, who will start on the inside lane. 2 old rivals here, both in Molgards, slightly different to each other, although they're still relatively new boats. And in fact, Osterberg's one with that front nose modification is well spotted by Chris on that one.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what modifications they've done to the rear of the hull as well, because last year Johan didn't exactly have a stellar season. He was either unfortunately involved in a crash or came in behind a tow rope. A lot of the times the crashes weren't necessarily down to him. He was just caught up in someone else's crash, which was a real shame because this guy spends hours and hours and hours traveling from Stockholm to the various venues. I mean, last year him and his father took over 52 hours to drive from Stockholm to Ribadoro, only for him to crash out within the first 5 laps of the Grand Prix. It's the same again when he was in Tonsberg. He got caught up with Brent Dillard's crash, and that eliminated him from the race in Norway. So, Osterberg is another one of those guys that really hasn't had which certainly last year he could do with his his luck changing.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just trying to remember, did he have an incident also in Abu Dhabi last year?
Yep, again.
Yeah.
Yeah, he but that was his own making. I think he got caught out by by some wash from Nikita, I think. It was a tough one. It's a tough year for Osterberg.
Well, let's hope the season starts off well right here, right now, because 51, Uwe Slakteris starts in the inside lane, Osterberg on the outside lane. Chris, call your shots on this one. I'm gonna.
Oh, in that case, then it's going to be Uvis, isn't it? Really, let's be honest. That inside lane, I think, is definitely the one to have.
I think you're right on many levels, but I'm picking it for a totally different reason because he is number 51, my own race number. So that said,
really
and here we go.
Neck and neck.
Oh,
yep.
Evenly matched. This is going to be evenly matched, I think, Chris, because here we go. And Osterberg zooms away, but Slakteris has to back off into that first turn. Stay with Johan Osterberg then as he comes down towards us. I'm interested to see where Slakteris is at this point, because Uvis is round and we should see, there he is. Uvis
heading up for the top turn.
In theory, if our theories are right, he should win the match race. This is a close finish.
This is going to be very close.
Well, that's a close call, isn't it? And I mean, that was neck and neck, wasn't it? I'm going to go for still Uvis. So who goes
Let's wait
through?
for the
We'll wait
officials
for.
to separate those two. But that's the beauty of match racing. It should be that close. And as you say, it is honestly one of the best formats I've seen in powerboat racing for TV. Because something like this is very short, very snappy. They turn it round. It's a great 30-minute program.
Yeah, and it's a good filler, and even there, if you're on the scene, you know, it's good to watch if you're there in
And that
person.
one
And
went to
this is
Uvis.
did it. So again,
That's
proven
just
our
gone to Uvis. Yeah. I just wonder whether, when it comes to the next round, Jason Brewer, the pontoon marshal, will be getting them to maybe toss a coin to decide who has the inside and who has the outside lane.
yeah, because if it is, I mean, it's going to be interesting on this one because Owen Chelf is on the inside on this particular one, and Colin Chelf will be on the outside lane. So this could blow the theory wide open, I guess, if Colin goes through, which that's what I'm predicting. You predicted Owen, I think, from what you said.
I did.
And
I
if
probably
Owen
just
does
put the
go
curse on
through,
Owen.
the Chris curse.
The Chris commentator's curse on Owen Juff.
So it will all be your fault when Colin Shelf goes through to win this round.
Sibling rivalry at its finest by the looks of this.
I mean, we touched on it
I mean,
earlier,
you
didn't
tell
we? I
me.
mean,
Yeah. You chatted about Chasewater. When was that? That
yeah.
was a few years ago, then, wasn't it?
No, yeah, about 94. Ted had just built them some new boats for that season. And then they just got destroyed. It was one of those ones where it should have been all destroyed in seconds, but because it was. But I think from memory, Owen's boat came off worse than Colin. But there we go. They got over it.
Back in the days when Ted built their boats for them.
Yeah, and you know, good times, good times for the Jelf team. But let's see what these times bring. These days, racing in totally different boats to each other. As we look at the start lights, with, as I said, Owen Shelf on the inside, Colin Shelf on the outside. Chris, we're ready to go.
Here we go. This should be a good one. He's keeping them waiting a while, isn't he?
It's a long wait. I was thinking to say that. It is a very, very long wait. I guess we're just waiting for the lights to go behind the logo.
Oh, any second now, they should be.
Oh, yeah. And it's when you're on a long hold like this where, you know, it can entice an early start.
Here we go.
Wow, that was quick. That was very, very quick. Owen Jelf then goes away from the start dock, but Colin Jelf is also away, and both equal as they go up to the first turns. And Owen Jelf has already rammed his one, but remember, he is on the short course. So, can he make it stick? Because it's the next set of turns, really, for Owen, who needs to keep the power full on, if he can do, to outbeat his rival.
I'd be curious to know the last time that that Colin actually did a match race.
Yeah, it's got to be about 2009, maybe 2000. Yeah, possibly.
Okay, so
that was Colin.
Wow.
Yeah, so
I still
Colin
think
Shelf
that
then.
obviously Owen is still having technical gremlins, which hasn't allowed him anywhere near the top end speed that he was looking for.
Yeah, I'm surprised he went in for that. I'm surprised they weren't just getting on with the with the engine change. But it was good to see. Now this should be good to see because we've got the pole sitter for tomorrow's Grand Prix versus the event organizer. So
that didn't make a lot of difference when Bimber won the match race in Tonsberg. She was up against Frody and blew him out of the water.
So let's see what happens here then. Ryabko with a little bit of something to prove this weekend. So they're just on the warm-up lap at the moment. DAC versus a Molgard. And there's a prediction, and I'll read it if you want, Edgaros. And I've just missed it actually.
And Bimber's on the short course. Ooh.
Yep, so will this test our theory? Will Edgaros prove us wrong by starting on the outside?
Bimber, she's so good at these match races.
So yeah, so this is for a place in the finals.
Yeah.
Because the next group, as you know, is Slactress v Jelf, two old rivals there. But I've got my own opinions on the next group who will win. This one, realistically, should be Bimber.
I think it will be. She is the match racing queen, certainly from Tonsberg.
So we just watched the pit crew then just turn Bimber's boat around. That's it. Just while the start boat gets into position. No, it was a long hold, wasn't it, on that last one before the lights went on. But when they went off, it was like it was almost like they were on and off in a flash.
Oh yeah.
And we're ready. Stand by for action. Has he given up holding the lights up now? Are they going to be? I think they're going to be pressed now from there. Oh no! Here we go, and he gets into position.
Yeah, I think you're. See who has the fastest reaction.
On go the lights. On go the lights. Ryabko gets away faster than Bimber, and they go up towards the top. Then Bimber will turn on the short course first, of course, but Ryabko. Oh, and they're very close together there, aren't they? But Ryabko
they were.
wanders off into the distance. So we watch Edgaros Ryabko on his long lap. The next lap will be a short lap for him.
He just skipped over the wake from Bimber by the looks of it.
Yep, and I just see the rollers there. Just and that's the problem. I think he's catching all of the backwash from Bimber's boat there. So this could be Bimber's race.
She's gonna have to go some to catch him.
Oh, I'll tell you what, yeah, it's close, isn't it? They go round that turn there. And
I think Ryabko might have just nicked that one.
Yep, I think you're right. We will find out for official confirmation in a second. But in the meantime, coming up next will be Colin Jelf versus Slactress, as we just work out. But yeah, Chris, I think you're right. I think Ryabko was pretty close to getting it there.
Just wait for official confirmation.
Bimber wins. There you go.
Whoa, Bimber won that one.
Wow.
It could still be the dream weekend, or certainly the dream Saturday for Bimber. pole position and a match race final?
That would be absolutely awesome. History 3 times in the making over one weekend, and also the other constructor's point of view. Whatever happens in this match race, it will be a Molgard first, second, and surely third position.
Okay, so who's got the inside line?
So I make it. Now I'm not unofficially. I'm saying that it's going to be Bimber on the inside again, but
No, not Bimber.
Colin Jelf.
It's going to be Colin on the outside, Uvis
Oh
on
yeah,
the
sorry,
inside.
yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Uvis is on the. I was ahead of myself there. Yep.
I know.
Uvis on...
Were you predicting the final?
I was predicting the final, yeah. Yeah, so it is Uvis on the inside, Colin Jelf on the outside. Are you still sticking with Uvis on this one?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Uvis on this one. I know you're going to be supporting Colin.
It would be an obvious
hello.
choice, I think. Ah.
He's taking on some extra air. Hello.
So you'd normally see that at the start of a Grand Prix, certainly not at the start of a match race. But
I think the sun's low, and so I think perhaps the screens might be misting up a little bit.
Yeah, because they're 2 hours ahead of us now, so time is obviously it's getting on for 6:10 over there.
Yeah.
So stand by once again for action. Start lights are up.
Here we go.
And they're off, and another quick turnaround with the start lights. And away we go. Molgard via Molgard. Slactrus v Jelf, and they evenly paced, but Jelf now just storms off then into the distance. But did you see that, Chris, there? Jelf spoke porpoise just a little bit on the approach to that first turn.
Certainly did, but it looks like he's got it trimmed beautifully now.
Oh yeah, it's looking pretty sweet, isn't it? Coming down towards the second turn as we now watch for Slactrus. What a super turn. Nice and clean out of the corner. But is it good enough to win this match?
No, I don't think it's good enough. I think it's gone to Colin. Yeah, that's gone to Colin. So your prediction was right.
It was. So it is Colin Jelf versus Bimber for this match race final here in Lithuania. Well, I say here,
I think that they're going to do.
for me,
Well, they'll do the second and third shoot. They'll do the second and thirds first.
Yeah.
So it'll be a quick turnaround for Uvis. And he'll go battling against Ryabko now for the third place. Can Ryabko make it onto the podium at his home event?
Yeah, that would be something to gain out of the first day from this event, wouldn't it? Let's see if it happens. He sits 6th on the grid in tomorrow's Grand Prix, but at the moment he's now battling for a third position in the match race. So here we go. They need to not wipe each other out making their way to the start.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. They're just roughing the water up for each other.
Yeah.
And it looks like Ryabko's on the inside for this one.
Tada tai būtų klipai
Yeah, I like the way how he's been going. I'm going to go for Ryabko in this one, I think.
Jo, tai dabar kartais patikrinti patys, kad galite kokią valstybę išgaunate. Pažiūrėt savo pasitikėtinę.
Here we go again with the start boat. Start lights. Just gives us a chance to thank everyone who's joined us today on the live stream, whether you've just recently joined us or you were here earlier for the qualifying. But don't forget, we're back tomorrow. Keep an eye out on social media for the exact times as we go for the lights out. This is for third place for the match race, and Edgaros is away and Slactress is away, and here we go, Chris. Who do you reckon?
It's looking pretty even at the moment. I think Garros has just got enough there.
Yeah, he stormed into that first turn like there was no tomorrow, didn't he? And just watch now, Ryabko, and he's not hanging around.
Yeah, that was a beautiful turn there, isn't it? Beautiful turn, yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be over very, very quickly as we now watch then, and that's
Yeah.
going to be the final corner now for Ryabko.
He just hooked that up beautifully.
Line. But I'll tell you what, look, there's Slactress, there's Ryabko. This is going to be close.
Oof. That's literally close.
I reckon that was Slactress, which is surprising because I know we were following Ryabko, but it looked almost like the perfect match race for him.
Yeah, I would be very surprised if it's a bit of a confusing angle where the actual finish line is, but it might have been Uvis that got there first. Uvis is heading over to
that result. Chris, while we're waiting for that result, I've got Duarte Benavente with me.
Oh, perfect.
Duarte, how did you feel your day's gone so far?
Yeah, it was perfect until Q2, and then Q3 we had a small problem on the engine. The wind picked up a little bit, but was not the real reason for our bad lap. I made a mistake in the first lap. Second lap should be okay, but we seem we found the problem. I hope tomorrow I can make some places in the race.
Thank you for talking with us, Duarte. Back to you guys.
And this is it. Do you know what? And Uvis, you were right. Uvis just took that against Edgaros. So that's put Uvis third place on the podium. Colin versus Bimber.
This is Colin versus Bimber. This is Molgard versus Molgard. This is man versus woman. This is everything that you could really kind of no, Edgaros.
Edgaros has now been classified as third. Yeah.
Yeah. So Edgaros third in the. So congratulations, Edgaros, on that one.
So he does finish on the podium. It must have been a photo finish. They were just waiting to get it developed.
See, if you were there,
I'd have missed it as well.
So,
yeah. So come on then, grand final. I'm back in Bimber.
Yeah, I think I'm going to back Bimber as well, actually. But actually, no, I'm not, because I'm going to back Colin Shelf as just to even things up. But, yeah, let's see what happens. Colin Shelf, the man who we all thought had retired from racing. They say you never ever retire. And let's see
and there he
if
goes.
He's still got it.
Ooh.
Yeah, and they're both away. And I'll tell you what, that was an even start really from both of them.
Oh, Colin's a little bit flighty there.
Yeah, he's a little bit slow, isn't he, as well? So Colin's round the first turn. He's on the long course first. Bimber on the she's on the short course, and now she goes on the long course. But But we know that Colin's quick. This is the person who's going to be next to her on tomorrow's grid. So they need to look after each other out there and not trip over each other in this final lap of the match race. Here we go, Chris. The run down to the start-finish line.
Run down to the start-finish line. Oh! I think that's Bimber, but just.
Yeah,
Chris,
again,
from my perspective here, it was Colin Jelf.
Okay.
So we wait for confirmation on that, but
let's see
certainly
how.
Colin was. Sorry, John. Well, certainly the cameraman is fancying the fact that it could have been Colin, because that's who we are looking at the moment. And if it is, wow, congratulations and welcome back. But let's just wait for an official confirmation on that. And still a good effort from Bimber as Colin flips over the canopy. And Bimber's pit crew will be pleased that today's work, for now, is done.
Well, I've got it as Bimber's won that.
So wow, so that's another great effort then. A perfect weekend so far for Bimber Sjöholm as she wins the match race and Colin Jelf second. So a great effort from the young lady from Sweden. And now maybe
and I think they're coming up to socially congratulate each other, socially distant congratulate each other.
Yep.
Bimber, pole position.